All right, go ahead and get going. Hello and welcome, everyone. Right as I say we'll get going, someone else is joining us. Um, yes, welcome. My name is Matt. I am a librarian at the Palos Heights Public Library. Maybe I've met you before, maybe I haven't. In any event, welcome. Today we're talking about Facebook and just the basics. So you may already know some of this stuff, you may not. Um, but we will get going. So, hang on. There we go. First up, a disclaimer. I am broadcasting live from my basement. There are two children upstairs that are going to be done with e-learning soon. There are dogs. I apologize in advance for no doubt any interruptions they create. So sorry about that. The other disclaimer is Facebook, they can change things around a lot. So as of right now, today, this is all current stuff. Tomorrow, they might add a new feature. They might change the way something looks, but it should basically all be the same. So keep a lookout for that. Um, what we're going to do today is talk about Facebook, what it is, what it's for. We'll talk about the toolbar, the homepage, the timeline, Facebook etiquette, and the different settings and privacy settings and all that good stuff. Um, I will from time to time stop to ask if anyone has any questions. So feel free to, at that time, unmute and ask a question. In the meantime, if something comes up, you can put it into the chat and I will look there to see if there are any questions. Um, the chat function, if you don't see it along your row of buttons, um, like in the bar that has the mute, stop video, and all that, if you click on the three dots along the side that say more, the first thing in that menu should be chat. So that is how to access that. All right, so we'll get going. What it is. Basically, it's a platform for sharing content. You know, events, pictures, stories, just little blurbs about yourself or your life. Um, That's what it's for. And it's for seeing other people or companies post their news as well. It's for connecting with friends. Um, and the way you do that is mostly through interacting on the homepage, which we will get to. You share your own info on your timeline. And there are a whole bunch of privacy settings that we'll get into so you can adjust who can see what and all that good stuff. So we will get more in depth into that later. But for right now, we will talk about the toolbar. And we'll start with the search box. So so this is developed, the screenshots are from just the computer web browser based Facebook page. If you are using an iPad or an iPhone or an Android device, it should all look similar, maybe just a little scrunched up. So, yeah, they recently redesigned Facebook to kind of unify the looks between computer and phone and iPad. So, just take a look there. And yes, I don't know if the new UI for the browser-based version has rolled out to everyone. So I kept the old UI user interface screens. So after the new ones, I'll also show the old ones just in case yours still happens to look like that. But it should start to all look like what you see in the new UI screenshots. So first of all, to get to the search box, it's right here in this little red box. Right when you load up facebook.com and log in, it says search Facebook, and you can't get much more clear than that. So you just type there, and when you enter a search, you can see in the bottom screenshot there, it'll save your recent searches, um, and you can just click on whatever you want to repeat a search if you know who you're looking for. And a lot of the time, like if you're just searching for a name, it'll pull up a whole lot of people with either the same or similar name. And then you have to go through and see if you can match up either picture or location or occupation or whatever is listed there to see if it's the person you want. So sometimes there's some detective work involved. If you're looking for, a business or an organization, usually that is easier than searching for a person, especially if that person does not have a very unique name. Um, on a phone or tablet, the search box might instead just be the magnifying glass. So just go ahead and hit that magnifying glass and you'll be able to search the same way as on a desktop computer. Here's the way it used to look. So if you are still getting that, then it's pretty much the same thing. You just find that search box and type in your search. Now, the navigation buttons, the two main ones are getting the Facebook homepage or getting your profile. So those are the two red arrows here right next to the search box, the circular Facebook logo with the F. That takes you back to the homepage if you've gotten away from there. And if you want to see your own profile or, make any changes there, you just hit over on the other side of the screen there. It'll have your name with your profile picture. You just click that and you will go to your own profile. And we will get more into what you can do there a little later on. On the old look, it was a little different. You could still press the F next to the search box, but they also had a dedicated home button. And, kind of the same thing, just with a blue background for getting to your own timeline. Now, notifications in the new user interface. There will be a little number next to the bell in the top right corner of the screen. If you have more than one notification, that will change. That number will change. And when you click that, on the right-hand side screenshot, you see the bell is now blue, and popped up underneath that is the notification. So, you can see if something likes what you posted. If someone commented on something, it'll tell you. If you are in a group and something happens there, it'll tell you. So it's pretty handy little tool. In the old UI, pretty much the same, except instead of a bell, it's a globe. And instead of a circular number, it is a rectangular number. So that's what to look for there. They did change up friend requests. So in the new user interface, friend requests are lumped in with notifications. So you'll still get that. The bell will have a little number next to it. And once you pop down on that, if it's a friend request, it'll show up kind of like you see on the right-hand screenshot here, where you can either confirm or delete whoever has sent you a friend request. You can also at any time see your friends or friend requests by looking on a computer to the right side, or I'm sorry, the left side under the search bar. You can see there's your profile, and then underneath that, highlighted in red, is friends. If you click on that, it'll bring up your list of friends and any pending requests. Something to be aware of with friend requests is these days, it seems like there are more and more spam friend requests going out. So you might out of the blue one day get a friend request by someone you don't know. And, it could be someone, either a robot or just someone trying to send you ads for things. The best way to kind of suss that out is to, if you're not sure, you can go to the friend request page, click on their profile. It'll tell you if you have any friends in common, which if you do have friends in common, that kind of makes it more legit. But also kind of look through their public facing profile. Usually these bots or spammers will only have, maybe they've added their profile picture like yesterday or the week before, and there's only that and no real posts. So that is a good way to tell if you are being asked to be friends with someone who is real or not. But yeah, always be on your guard with that sort of thing. In the old one, there was a, as you can see in the top there, a dedicated friend request icon. That has gone away. If you receive a Facebook message, which is tied in with Facebook Messenger, so if you are on a phone or a tablet, in order to use messages, they have you also download a separate program from the Facebook app. That is the Facebook Messenger app, and it's basically an instant message client. And there is a dedicated button for that in the user interface. Right next to the notification icon, there is that little chat circle with a lightning bolt in it. You click that and...
Is this a new one?
Good job. Sorry, school is done. And once you click that, it'll kind of pop up like on the right-hand side there, where it'll show you a list of everyone you've messaged with and a little preview of the messages. You can click any of those and it'll pop up like on the bottom left-hand screenshot. It'll pop up a little box at the bottom of the screen, and you can communicate there. If you're on a phone or a tablet, this all just happens in the Messenger client. So, but it will all look pretty much the same wherever you are. Right. Let's see, the old user interface had, also a dedicated icon. So look for the 2 speech boxes if you're still getting that. And it also pops up the various messages for you to look at and respond to in their own separate window on the web page. So that is the last of that section. Next, we'll be talking about the homepage. I will pause for questions. And while I'm pausing for questions, I will take a drink of water. Okay, seeing and hearing none, I will move on. The news feed is a pretty major part of Facebook. It's what loads up when you log into facebook.com and scrolling through it. That's where everyone's posts are. So if it's, no matter if it's a company or a personal friend, anything they post, it'll show up in your news feed. This is how it looks in the new user interface. You can see on the left-hand side, there's a bunch of little shortcuts to get to other places. We will talk about those in more depth later. But otherwise, just scrolling through and looking to see what people posted is the main thing you do here. This is how it used to look and may still look for you. Now, of course, one of the main things to do with Facebook is to update your status and tell people what's going on. And in the new user interface, I'll go back a couple slides. See up at the top, you just click on that where it says, "What's on your mind, Matt?" You just click in that little dialog box and you get going. If you want, you can start a live streaming video by clicking live video. You can jump right to posting a photo or video with the other little buttons on there. But if you just click in the dialog box, it pops up an expanded form like this. And where it says "What's on your mind," that's where you type in whatever you want to say to folks. You can add your post along the bottom there. You can see the little green icon that clicking that will open up so you can add some pictures or videos. Next to that, the blue one is for tagging people. So if you want to say, "Hey, dear whoever, your brother, sister, aunt, uncle," you can hit that, start typing in their name, and you can tag them in the post so that they get a notification of it. And when people see it on your news or on their news feeds, it'll show like, "Oh, Matt is with so-and-so," or whatever. You can also tag people just by typing in. When you're typing, you can start typing their name and Facebook will go through your friends list, and anyone who matches that, they'll pop it up and you can click on their name to add them to the post. Also along the bottom, there's that little smiley face in yellow in the middle. That is for adding an emoji. The red next to that, that one is for adding a location to the post. So if you're out somewhere, which maybe you're starting to go out places now, you can click on that and that'll let people know where you are. The one next to that, that's for, it has question mark in it. That's for asking for advice from people. Like I've seen a lot of posts these days of people saying, oh, who knows a good, pizza place in this area or something like that. And that's just a kind of a visual cue for people scrolling through their news feeds that, hey, this is a post looking for advice or a tip on something. Further, clicking the little three dots along the edge there, that will bring up even more options to add to your post. Maybe you want to add a poll or just a variety of other things. You can find it all there. And you will notice kind of above that add to your post bar, there's a little rainbow colored square AA icon. And that is for adding backgrounds to your posts. So this is a kind of new and popular thing with Facebook. If you click on that, you'll be able to either change the background color of your post, change the font. Sometimes instead of just colors, there's little designs that they have in there that you can put on. So that is all fun stuff. And that is basically it for creating a post. Once you're done, once you have something typed in there, the little bar along the bottom where it says post, it's grayed out. When you type something in there, it turns blue and you click post and voila, there it goes. The other thing is you can copy a link to a website and then you can paste it into your create a post. So you do that either, you can hit Control V on a keyboard to paste it in there. You can right click and paste. If you're on a tablet or phone, you just hold a long press on there and then it'll paste in whatever you've copied. If it's a web address or a link to another website, it will do its best to kind of pull a picture and a headline from whatever you're linking to. And then you can go ahead and once that's done, you delete the link in the actual post, and then you can just comment on it, like say, like, oh hey, look at what I just found on this website, and then people will be able to click through and go to that website. So that is another handy tool. This is how it looked on the old user interface. Basically the same thing. Not much has changed here. So yeah. Next, another thing that people love to do on Facebook is like, react, and comment and share. So as you can see here, there's a bunch of different things you can do. If you just click the like button on a post, it'll do the default like, the thumbs up. If you hover over it, or if you're on a phone or tablet, push and hold on the like button, it'll pop up all the other little things you can do. So you can love something. They just added the third one there, care. You can care about it. You can laugh, be surprised, be sad, be angry, whatever. They do not have a roll eyes reaction, which sometimes looking through some posts from friends and family is something I wish was there, but I guess that's probably all for the best. Yeah, you can just click whatever you want. Usually a like will do. Sometimes one of the other ones is more appropriate. If you just want to type in a comment or like and comment, all you do is click into the write a comment box and you can respond to the post. You can also add a sticker or an emoji to that with the icons off to the right side there. You can also add an animated GIF. You just click the GIF button and search through there. You put in whatever you want to search for, like happy dance or whatever, and then it'll bring up some matching things there and you can select what you want to add to that post. People love GIFs these days, so I encourage you to do that. If it's a post that you want to share, and sometimes posts can't be shared depending on how people have their privacy settings. But if it can be shared, you'll see that third share button there to the right side. And when you click or long press that on a device, it'll pop up in the bottom right hand corner there, all the different ways you can share. So you can either just automatically share it to your timeline without any comment. If you want to share it to your timeline or newsfeed and say something about it, you click the second one there, share to newsfeed. That'll bring up a little window where you can say like, oh, hey, look at this, or this seems like a good deal, whatever you want. You can share to your story, which is something kind of new Facebook is doing. It's like a separate kind of timeline where you have different posts about what you're doing. So that is a little beyond the basics, so we don't get much into that, but just know that it's there. You can send it in Messenger. So if you just want to send it to someone directly without posting it to your newsfeed, you can do it that way. If you are a member of a group, you can share it to the group. We'll touch more on groups in a little bit. And then you can share it to a specific page on Facebook or to a friend's profile if a friend has a privacy setting that will allow you to do that. So a lot of different ways you can share things. This is how it looked in the olden days, and it looks a lot the same. Okay, so this has not really changed much. You can see who is of your friends are active and online. They will be listed if you're on a computer on the right-hand side, right underneath all the navigation icons on the navigation bar at the top. Underneath, it'll show who is on. So it's just a big long list. You can see here, if they're online and active, it'll be green. If they've been away for a while, you can see in the middle there, it says 5H. That means that person has been idle for 5 hours. So you can see who's on. And if you want to talk to someone or send them a message, you just click on their names and it'll open up the messenger window and you can just say, hey, what's up? All right, before I get into events, I will pause again for questions. So feel free to unmute and ask if you want, or put it into the chat. All right, keeping going. Events on Facebook are becoming a bigger thing. You can create your own event. You can get invited to an event, or you can just browse events near you to see, or if there's anything you like, or search for an event now that a lot of things are virtual. So to access the event hub, I guess you might call it, it'll be in the bottom there. You can see the little red box around events. So look to your left side and under friends and all that stuff, you'll see events. You click on that and it brings up what is on the upper left-hand side, the events hub. So you can see it's highlighted home on the left-hand side. You can also click through to your events, birthdays. There's an option there to create your own event. If you have responded to any events, they'll be right under that in your upcoming events. I have some library programs there. There in my neighborhood, there are some food trucks coming. So those are in there to remind me of those. The main part of the screen there on the right side, that just shows events that are around you, I guess. So there's nothing really that you have in particular looked into. It's just, hey, check this out. These are events coming up near you. So usually you can ignore those unless turns out maybe you are actually interested in one of those things. So yeah, if you want to get drilled down into the details of an event, you just click on it either in the Discover Events area that'll also be if you search for an event where the search results pop up, or in the Your Upcoming Events section. You just click on it, and then on the right-hand side here, you can see the Sound Opinions example. It shows you, who's going, how many people have confirmed, how many people are maybes, how many people have declined to go to the event. It'll show you all the relevant info, like where it's at, date, time, all that good stuff, a little description of the event. Sometimes you can post to it, you can comment. A lot of the times if someone's having a party or a birthday party, they'll set it up this way, send you in an invite to it. And then it's more useful there. Like the example here is for a library program, but if it's for, you're doing your daughter's birthday party or something, you can, it's more useful because you can see, who's all seeing the invitation, who has said, okay, I'm going, who said, maybe I'm going, who says, no, I can't. And whether there's any comments or anything like, hey, are we supposed to bring gifts? What's the food going to be? Questions like that you can see in there. You can have little discussion. So that is events. They are becoming more common. It used to be, you'd get an Evite or something. These days, a lot of times, since a lot of people are on Facebook, the invitations are going out that way. This is how it used to look. Again, pretty much the same. They just changed the aesthetic of things. Another kind of feature that's getting bigger on Facebook is groups. So this is also, again, you see that red box there in the bottom. There's a shortcut right to it in the homepage right underneath the search bar. If you're on a tablet or a phone, there's a dedicated group button kind of along the top in the navigation row there. And pressing that will get you to what you see in the left-hand screenshot, which gives you kind of an overview of recent posts in whatever group you're in. The left-hand side there, you can discover new groups. You can adjust your group notification settings, like if you're in an active group, maybe people are posting too much and you're like, I don't want a notification every single time someone posts. You can adjust that there. You can search for different groups, and you can see groups you've joined. So, I have 2 kids in school, so I am in parent Facebook groups where people post news and questions about what's going on with school. Can be very handy. I'm also in a couple of different neighborhood groups, which is where I found out about these excellent food trucks that they bring in, or kind of things that are going on locally. So on the right-hand side here, that's an actual group page. You can see it's the Wheaton local group, and people post their news or events that are going on, and you can check that out. So yeah, you can search for groups. There is almost certainly a group for whatever you're into, whether it's a hobby or something local or anything like that. You can search for groups. Usually you have to ask to join and maybe answer a question or two before the group administrator will let you in. Just it's a way to screen out fake accounts or bots. So don't get offended if you have to request an invitation to join. It's just how it is to keep things productive and safe. So yeah, more and more these are getting used by people, I think. And I really only just started using them within the last year or two. And I found it to be a pretty good source of local information. So check that out if you like. This is how it used to look. Again, not much different, but if you still have this look to your Facebook, that's how it'll look. Facebook pages. So this is more for companies. If you you search for a company, like here I have Martin Guitar. I search for them on Facebook. I clicked like on them, so it says liked. That means that in my news feed, I will get posts from Martin Guitar. So you can see here they posted about some fantastically expensive new custom shop guitar that they put out. So you can see that in your timeline. But if you wanted to actually go to their page, you can see different things about them, like their actual website address, the number of people who like and follow them, different pictures they've posted, their post history, um, things like that. I will say it is also a good way to uh, connect with customer service these days. So, sometimes on Twitter, you can tweet at a brand, um, or on Facebook, you find their page, send them a message, create a post. Not all pages allow you to create a post on their page, but you can usually send a message to them. And for example, I recently got my son he really likes ketchup. My mom for Christmas got him a giant jug of Heinz ketchup. We opened it up. There was no safety seal on the top. We're like, that is strange. So I contacted Heinz Ketchup over Facebook and I said, hey, um, is there supposed to be a safety seal on here? What's going on? They got back to me. Oh, we're so sorry. Can you send us pictures? I sent them some pictures of what it was and the lot number and all that they asked for. And they're like, yeah, don't use that. We don't know what happened. And they mailed me, a bunch of coupons for free ketchup. So, a lot of times calling on the phone these days can be a hassle, or you don't actually get to a real person. Um, Communicating with a company over Facebook, they have, special social media teams that know what to do and get you in touch with, whatever your issue is to resolve it. And they usually like to act pretty quick, because they don't want a bunch of negative posts or feedback on their Facebook page or Twitter or whatever. So that is why you might want to find companies on Facebook and interact with them that way. These are the way they used to look. And yeah. All right. That is it for that section. Next, we talk about the timeline, which is your own page. So again, I will pause for questions. All right, the timeline. I think all of these are stock photos. All of these are using the old user interface because nothing much has changed. So you can see here, this is what it looks like if someone goes to your profile or you go to your profile. It shows the little square picture is your profile picture. The big picture behind it is the cover photo. We will get into how to change those and update them. It also shows the quick access to the pictures that you've posted, and then a little history of things you've said or things you've been tagged in, all that good stuff. Adding photos or video, you do that again by, like we talked about earlier, in updating status. You just click on to the what's on your mind box and then click the photo or video icon. Again, nowadays, that's just the green little picture icon. You click on that. If you're on a computer, it'll pop up the little bottom middle thing there where you can search through your directory and find the picture or video you want to post. If you are on a phone or a tablet, it'll just open up your photo reel, and yeah, you select what you want, and then you're able to say something about it, and then you just click post. Another thing you can add is life events. So you get married, you get divorced, birth of a child, new job, graduated from school, anything like that. You can add that as a life event, and that will be in the About tab in your profile. Let me go back here. You can see kind of along the top right there, there's a bunch of icons, timeline, about, friends, photos, more. If you go to About, that is where you will find different things, like you can update your profile. It says on the right hand or left hand side there, places you've worked, places you've gone to school, where you've lived, all that stuff. It's up to you how much you put in there or how much you do not put in there. And yeah, you can add a life event down in that panel as well. And that once you do that, it'll go out to your news feed, and people are, can comment, like it, whatever they want to do. Profile photo, to change it, well, you can see it there. You see it in your posts whenever you post something or comment on something. That profile photo is always there next to your name. So, depending on who you're Facebook friends with, you might want to not have some kind of photo or the other. It's up to you. To change that photo, you would just click on it, and it'll pop up a window where, say, you can either use an old photo, or search your computer for a new one you want to use. It'll let you, slide it around in there to frame it properly. And speaking of frames, they now have, if you click on profile photo, something will pop up and it'll say, do you want to add a frame instead of just change your profile picture? And you can do that too, like just a ton of frames. You can search them. Like if you want to add something for, the school you went to, sometimes there's a frame like that. A lot of the big ones now are, I've been COVID vaccinated or whatever, and you can add that temporarily. You can always go back and strip it out, whatever you want to do. Like I had one for National Library Week a couple of weeks ago. You can also add a temporary profile picture. There's an option to do that. So, if there's a special event going on or something and you just want to have a profile picture up there for a certain amount of time, you select what picture you want that to be. Say, this is when I want this to go away. You select the date and time, and it will revert back to the previous profile picture. The cover photo, you can click on it in the background, or this one has an update cover photo button. You just click on it, and same thing like with the profile picture, it will pop up something that says, hey, what do you want to change it to? And you just change it, and that is that. The About You section, again, we talked about that a little bit. Drilling down into the details about you. This is, this person has grateful wife, mother, daughter, blah, blah, blah. You can put whatever you want in there. You can, you have your name in there. You can tell people how to pronounce it with a bunch of different common suggestions that they have created for you, or you can put in your own. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Photos. A lot of people love to share photos on Facebook. So here is part of it. This is the new user interface. You can see if you are on your profile, you click the photos, and this is what it shows you right underneath there. There's photos of you. That's the first thing. And so you can either, see what you've posted in the past or what other people have posted of you. You can comment, you can share it, whatever you want to do. You can delete them if you want to. The middle button there, your photos, is where you would find photos that you yourself have posted. So sometimes these align right with you for photos of you. Otherwise, but if not all your photos are of you, you'll find everything else you've posted there. Albums is, sometimes if you go on vacation and you post pictures from that vacation, you can create a specific album for them, and you can access and edit those in that tab. There is also the add photo/video button there, which, just like it says, you click that and it'll ask you, do you want to make an album? What do you want to do? In the old UI, this is how it looked. Again, pretty much the same. Sometimes it asks if you want to tag someone in it, like, because Facebook knows your face and knows the faces of other people. And if they are friends with you, they will, it's like here it says tag Shana Lopez. So it's kind of creepy, but you know, you can do that if you want to. And then that person will get a notification that they have been tagged in your thing. In privacy settings, you can turn that off. You can say, no, nobody is allowed to tag me because that is weird and creepy. Friends. If you are in your profile and click friends, it will show you all the different people you're friends with. So it shows you their profile picture, their name, the number of friends they have. A lot of these people have an absurd number of Facebook friends. Um, you can, there's this little rectangle here, red rectangle highlighting the word friends. If you click on that, you get a couple different options. You can either unfriend somebody or you can mute them. So if someone's going on and on about something and you're like, okay, I'm tired of this, you click that, click mute. For 30 days, their posts will not show up in your timeline. So, you know, someone's on a real high horse about maybe a sports thing. You know, I have a friend who every March or February, she does a fundraiser, and like and she gets tagged in a bunch of posts about the fundraiser and a lot of posting about the fundraiser. So I get tired about I get tired of seeing about the fundraiser. So I mute her for 30 days, and then hey, 30 days later, her normal posts come back, and I didn't have to do anything, but I did get to skip all of those posts. So that can be a handy tool. And yeah, that is basically it. There's some other options up there along the top. It'll show you upcoming birthdays if you want, and you can search through it and all that kind of stuff. So just experiment with that. A note about Facebook etiquette. Okay, what you post on someone's timeline, like if you make a post to a friend of yours, or you know, like a post on a brand page, that's visible to everyone who either likes or follows or is friends with that person or company. So you don't, you know, if you don't want to say anything too weird or inflammatory, just keep that in mind. Number two, almost everyone is on Facebook, including your boss, significant other, relatives, employees, coworkers, yada yada yada. So you know, we live in interesting political times. A lot of people have very strong feelings. A lot of friends and families have been, you know, wrecked by people posting things during last presidential cycle. Um, so keep in mind, you know, keep that in mind. You know, if you post something inflammatory, it could have repercussions outside of Facebook for you. Right in the middle there, you know, a good reminder where if you call in sick to work or say like, oh, sorry, I can't do something or other, um, don't post a picture of you doing something else because someone will see that. Plenty of people have lost their jobs for doing just something like that. Um, or, you know, so I know a friend of mine um, had an issue recently where her daughter invited some of her friends to go to a park. They said no. Then later on, the friend that said no posted a picture from that same park. So there was a lot of drama surrounding that. So just be aware of things like that. Facebook leaves an online footprint. Once something is posted, it will always be out there. You can delete it, and usually that's good enough. But some people who are good at digging through old archived things may be able to dig up something. So if you don't want something out there, don't post it. That is the takeaway from that. Um, if you're not sure if something is good, you can always send a message. So that means, you know, it's not showing up on anybody's timeline. It's not showing up on your timeline, your friend's timeline, whatever. It's private. You can include multiple people like it shows here, or groups. And yeah, that way it's just a private message between people, and you won't have to worry about, you know, someone else seeing it who is not the intended recipient. Finally, we're going to get into settings and privacy. Again, if there are any questions, feel free to unmute and ask, or put it into the chat. Settings. To get to settings, click down. There's an arrow along the top there next to the notification button. You click down there and you'll get what's on the left-hand side here. Shortcuts, help and support, display and accessibility, log out, or settings and privacy. When you click settings and privacy, it switches to the menu on the right-hand side, and there's a separate button there for settings. So you click settings, and that pulls up this web page. I should say, if you're on a phone or a tablet, go into there on the upper right-hand side, there should be like 3 lines. Click on that, and that'll take you to a bunch of different options. If you scroll down near the bottom there, there's an option for settings, and that is what you can do there. Yeah, that'll pull up something that looks like this, where on the left-hand side, there's the different categories of settings like general, security, what Facebook info you have, and then a bunch of other things you can click through and see. They do now have memorialization settings, which is what happens to your account when you pass away. So you can click edit there, and you can give someone else, like a significant other, a family member, you can give them control of the account when you pass away. So then they can run it, post things to it or not, or, they're able to log in and say, hey, this person has passed away. It's, you don't want to think about it, but sometimes, since Facebook is such a prominent thing in a lot of people's lives, they like to do that. You can also set it to just close up and delete your account. It is whatever you want to do. So yes, there are a lot of different options here. Face recognition, that is where you can go to say, don't recognize my face, or this is not me, or whatever. Profile and tagging, that's where you go to say, yes, people can tag me, no, people cannot tag me. Public posts, that is where you will go to say, okay, I want my post to by default go to anyone, like anyone in the world can see this post, or only to friends, or to friends of friends. So that is kind of the way they narrow it down. You can also, that's where you can control your sharing options and good stuff like that. And yes, you can just go ahead and explore those other ones. I'm happy to field any questions about them. Yeah, there's different things in there. Just take a look at them. Make sure everything is the way you want it. The other big thing is privacy. So to find your privacy settings, it's the same thing. You go to that arrow next to the notification button, click on settings and privacy, like in the red box on the left-hand side. And then the 2 privacy options there are privacy shortcuts or privacy checkup. And on the next page, so in the kind of top left here with the little pictures, that's the privacy checkup. It's kind of a guided walkthrough of all the different privacy settings on Facebook. I think it is a very good idea to go through those. Step by step, you click that first one, who can see what you share? And then that lets you go through step by step. Okay, lets you make changes if you want to make changes. There's tips about how to keep your account secure, how people can find you. You can change all of this stuff, all the data settings, ad preferences, things like that. So I encourage you to go through there and just make sure everything is how you want it to be. In the actual settings menu, in the kind of bottom right corner here, you can see what this looks like. You click privacy in the settings menu. It brings up all of your privacy settings. So you can edit everything. Some of the stuff is the same as you get through the privacy checkup, but it's all just right there instead of like a guided walkthrough of it. But if you've already done the privacy checkup and you just want to change a quick thing, boom, you go into settings, privacy, find whatever it is you're looking for, and click edit, and you're good to go. So, yeah, Facebook privacy is a big deal these days. They're trying to come up with more tools to help people micromanage their Facebook profile and who can see what and all that. So go through there, make sure everything is set to what you are comfortable with, and you'll be all set. And that is it. So thanks for coming out. Thanks to Kids and Dogs for not too many interruptions. And if you have any questions, now's the time. If you think of something later, you can always email me at the link that I sent out, or at the email address that I sent out the Zoom link in. We have here some of our other upcoming classes. We have Internet Basics on May 3rd, Learn to Zoom May 24th, Excel Charts and Graphs coming up on June 14th, and Android Basics on June 28th. So if you have an Android phone or tablet, that's the one to go to. Born out of the popularity of our iPhone Basics class, we're like, hey, a lot of people have Android too. So that's the class for you. Yeah, and register at our website as always. Yes, my pleasure. We had a lot more people sign up for this one than showed up, but hey, happy to play to however many people I get. So thanks for coming out. I guess it is real nice out this afternoon. People are probably just out enjoying it. I will go ahead and stop recording.